In today's tumultuous society, individuals, businesses, and governments are suffering blistering fallout. These woes can be traced back to an integrity deficit and confusion over what truly creates life fulfillment. What's the response we need now? Ethics education. Meet Dr. David Gruder, a seasoned psychologist, highly acclaimed speaker and trainer, multi-award-winning author, and hailed by radio and television interview reports as America's integrity expert. A practicing therapist, leadership mentor, and business consultant for nearly 30 years, Dr. David Gruder is first and foremost an educator who lectures, trains, and consults worldwide in leadership integrity development. His wide range of clients have included American Express, Vistage, Hawking College, University of California at San Diego's School of Medicine, and Dr. Gruder also provided negotiation skills training to ambassadors and other delegates to the World Trade Organization in Geneva, Switzerland. David Gruder's second book, The New IQ, was released in February of 2008. Within 8 months, it had received 3 book awards in 3 distinctive categories of nonfiction. The New IQ resonates with high-profile business leaders and best-selling authors, including Ken Blanchard and Brian Tracy, as well as corporate executives from some of America's most prestigious companies. Media interest in the New IQ in major metro markets in the United States and Canada has led to Dr. Gruder being interviewed on live radio in New York, Los Angeles, Boston, Montreal, Toronto, and dozens more.
Can we trust that everyone will abide by standards of integrity, or does it require more than that?
Integrity is not a should, it's not a moral imperative, that it's in their own best interest, that it has to do with being our truest, most authentic selves. When people understand that in order to feel whole and fulfilled, that they need to live at the intersection of their drive to be who they truly are, their drive to bond with others, and their drive to have positive impact in the world, integrity takes care of itself. But when people have distorted ideas about what creates life fulfillment, and they don't realize that life fulfillment means living at the intersection of those 3 core drives, that's when we get in trouble.
My co-host tonight is Dr. David Gruder, seasoned psychologist and author of The New IQ. He's also known as the Integrity Warrior. Hi, David. Whose lack of integrity is responsible for the meltdown on Wall Street this week?
There's plenty of responsibility to spread around. What we really have today that no one's talking about, this is the big elephant in the living room, is we have an economic system that is neither capitalism nor socialism nor a blend of the two. We have an economic system called debtism. We've become a society, and in fact a planet, of debt addicts. Consumer debt, mortgage debt, corporate debt, and government debt. That is the heart of the real problem.
One morning in the spring, my parents and I were sitting at breakfast, and they produced an envelope that had come in the mail. This was in 1969. And it was from the director of the summer camp that I went to in those years because of my passion for music. It was a camp for the performing arts up in the Berkshire Mountains in Massachusetts. And they were offering that year a special field trip, an optional field trip to a 3-day music and arts festival in upstate New York. And my parents naively looked at me and said, "What do you think? You want to go?" And I naively looked back at them and I said, "Well, sure, sounds interesting, why not?" Believe me, my parents had no idea they were sending me to what would be a history-making event. When my father realized through the massive news coverage that Woodstock ended up receiving, he had a cow. He would have come up and rescued me if he could have. But he was helpless to do anything but watch on television as this seemingly insane event to which he had sent his son unfolded. What my dad had no way of knowing was that my Woodstock experience had little to do with the stereotypes that so many people have about it as an orgy of drugs and sex with music playing in the background. For me, Woodstock had little to do with drugs or sex. In some ways, it even had surprisingly little to do with the incredible music. Rather, Woodstock proved to me that it was possible for us to be more fully ourselves, to love far beyond a sense of obligation, and to look after one another as a community, all at the same time.
Having given hundreds of lectures and trainings and over 70 live interviews in 2008 alone, Dr. Gruder's presentations consistently receive valuations of excellence. Timely, insightful, engaging, provocative, and designed to create lasting impact. Invite Dr. David Gruder to create a customized program for your audience, or a roster of topics will be provided from which you may choose.